Hi, my name is Sandra from Crafts of Ireland, and in our video today I'm going to show you how to make my favourite 3D felted piece, and of course it's Santa Claus. So Santa over the years has come in various shapes and sizes, but the method of how to make him is exactly the same. So we're just going to go quickly through the materials that we need, and then we'll get started on how to make Santa Claus. So first of all, I'm just going to go through the materials that you're going to need. I have 6 to 7 grams of carded fibre, which is going to be his head. Then I have separated some wool locks that are going to make the beard, and we do a Santa kit to be available shortly, and in it these locks will be in it separate for you. A triangular shaped piece of felt fabric to make the hat. Then I have some colour for his skin, his eyes and his cheeks. And finally then, to make his glasses, we have some soft wire. So this is copper wire, it's 20 gauge, and I'm going to use that to make the glasses. So I have a wee wire cutter for that and a pencil, and I'll show you exactly how to do it to do the glasses. And always I have a scissors with me. I'll need it to trim the beard and to do any other small pieces that we need to adjust. And we're going to get started. So the first thing is to roll the fibre that's for his head into a nice tight ball, and I'm going to start felting that in place. So just always remember, your mat underneath is going to protect your needle and protect your surface that you're working on, and your needle has to be worked straight up and straight down. And always remember where your fingers are in relation to working, because this is one of the projects where your fingers are quite close to the needle when you're holding your fibres together. So the first thing I'm going to do is tighten all the fibres in together, and then I'm going to start working on it to make it into a round shape. So to do that, you need to keep moving the piece round the whole time. Can't work in one place. You have to continuously rotate your work to get a sphere shaped head for Santa. So that is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep felting this around until I get it into the correct shape. You can see where it's starting to turn into a ball shaped piece. So I'll work anywhere there's a uneven surface on it, I'll work to felt that in, constantly turning it. And that is quickly taking shape. So you can see how solid it is already, how well the fibres combine and tangle together. And this can become a completely solid piece. So I'm going to keep doing that until I have it nice and firm. So I've been working away on getting this into a nice round ball shape, but I don't want to over felt it because I have to indent it for Santa's eyes. So when it gets to almost solid, you can stop felting and then start working on getting your detail in. So you have to decide then where in it is the most likely place to work that you're going to get. So I think that way would work for me. So what I'm going to do next, with Santa here has his glasses on, I'm going to make 2 indents, one each side of the bridge of his nose, that's going to hollow in for his eyes, and that in turn should give us his cheeks and should allow his forehead and his nose to be raised up. So we're going to take this and we're going to turn it and see the best way to do that. And I think I'm going to go there. So I'm going to have one eye here. So when you felt continuously, when it's not fully solid, into the one area, you can hollow the piece and sculpt out the detail. You can see where we have a hollow here. So I'm going to match it with one on this side. You can see how it's slowly starting to give a bridge for the nose. So we need, our eye sockets are quite deep, so we're going to put the eyes in there. We need to hollow them back nicely. And again on this side. And I've kind of a tendency to work one side and then the other and keep changing over, that I get both of them pretty much even. Our eye sockets go out almost to the edge of our face. So that gives us then our cheeks. So these are Santi's cheeks, so we can work them. And down for the bridge of his nose. And I'm going in underneath here, give Santi a nose. And work in underneath. So you can see now where his face is getting the shape that we want. And again, I'm working back and forth from one side to the other to make sure that it's consistent. That's down around the bottom of his nose, around the other nostril. Now, and take that down a bit where his mouth is going to be. So you can see we've got the outline of his shape. Santi should have nice big fat cheeks. And I'm going to narrow the bridge of his nose slightly. And that'll be his eyebrows up there. I think that's not too bad at that. We can work. Always when you're working, you can turn the work so that your needle is still faced the right way. And Santi can even have nostrils. You're really careful, you can work a little bit back up underneath. And just, it's his forehead. So that is not, probably doesn't look like much at this stage, but that's generally what it's going to look like till our next stage. And now what we need to do is we need to add some flesh colour. So I have got, from our colour collection, I have a creamy pinky colour. If you think that's dark, too dark, so I'm just going to open up my fibres. If you think that's a little dark, add a little white to it. And that'll just tone it back down. And again, I use this technique to blend my fibres, where I pull the fibres out and just lay them back gently so that all my fibres are equally aligned. So when you're making Santa, you don't have a lot of detail. You just have his face from the top of his hat down to his lips. So it's that section is all you need, because you have his side locks, beard and everything coming in. So you don't actually have a lot of the face shown. So you're going to slowly and gently build the cream colour over the fibres. So you're just going to take small amounts of fibre, and these ones you're going to very lightly tack in because you don't want to distort the shape of what you've made underneath. So I'm just very, very gently tacking these on. You can wrap them around the back. They're all going to be hidden. I was just working on this area here. Add some more. There's a little bit there to pick out. And as you gently work it over the shape that you've made underneath, it will take that, it will fill into that shape. I'm just stitching the fibre in gently. A little bit on his forehead. What do you find where you have the eye sockets? And we're slowly going to start, keep adding on the colour till we get his face covered. So I have Santa's face almost done, and you will find sometimes that it's harder to get cover on the nose. So I've just taken a separate little bit of fibre, and I'm going to very gently work that around the nose, because sometimes when you stretch fibres over, you don't get that much cover on the nose. So I'll just take a separate bit and bring it up. And that's just giving better coverage there. So just tighten in any of the areas that need resculpting. And that is pretty much Santa's face. He's got a good red whiskey face on him, just a wee bit on the lower jaw there. Now, that's that part done. Tidy up, and if there are any needle holes in them, you can just rub it with your finger and it'll lift those. Just give it a rub and they should all lift out. Just tidy them out of the way. Now, this is when it starts to look like what we need. So that's his face. And now we're going to add our beard. So we have these natural wool locks. This is actually of a lamb, because you can see the baby tips are still on it. Just rub the tips like that. You'll get them to open, and it gives a lovely natural look to it. So I have to decide what length I want his beard to be. I think that looks about right. So I'm just going to take the lock and cut it, and I can keep that bit one side. So I'm going to do that with the rest of these. I'm going to take a few of them. Just flick the tips open. So just gently open them up. And again, measure and trim them that they're similar length. All of this that we have can be used for his hair, for any of the other bits that we want, his locks on the side of his face. Again, to open them, and we're going to keep the length of the beard relatively consistent. So chop that. And I'll just do one more. Just loosen the locks, get the length roughly right, trim. Now, we'll start with these and see how we're doing. Turn them over. So Santa's beard runs up to almost under his nose. So I'm just going to start here. His mouth and tash are going to be above that. Just going to work the beard into place. It's going to come up under his cheek. We need some more at the center. And you can see that I'm not felting them down, I'm just felting where the beard is connected to the face. And see where beard is starting to grow. So I need some more. Take another piece of lock. Give it a wee trim, and you can come up along the side. And another one to match on the other side. That one's a little shorter, so we don't need to trim it. Just open the tip. And see now how our beard is forming. And he has nice big locks on the side of his face, so we'll take some of them bits, work them in. They're going to go up under his hat. Some more on the opposite side. So again, like when I was making the face, I would work alternatively one side after the other so that I can kind of keep them both matching. See how our beard is. I still have lots more locks here. Again, give them a flick. And I want to put another bit on that side. It's going to be under the hat, so we don't need it. We can take that round and put it onto the back of his head. And I'm taking the small bits that we'd left and I'm just filling in the back of the head. Quite a shaggy hairdo. We'll fill out this side a little more. And separate the locks out. Pick the tips and lay them down. They're going to get shorter as they go up the side. And we can trim that bit that we don't need. And kind of felt them down a little bit, tidy them back. Very gently with your needle, you can stroke them down. These begin to look good. You can see now where the weak spots are, so it's kind of need a little bit there. And put one extra in there, and I'm going to try and judge what length it should be. It's not looking too bad. We put one on the back and kind of give it a bit of fullness. One here. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly then a little trim. And I'm still not just 100% happy with here, so we'll add in another wee bit. Yeah, I think Santi's beard is quite good at that. You can judge yourself what way you want it. So that's beard applied. Now we can put in a mouth. So if I take a bit of the pink, give Santi some lips so that we can go in overhead with a little bit of a tash. So to do that, you can take the tip of the locks, divide them in half. From the center, work one to the left and one to the right. And that's my other one. Make sure the tip is facing out. A little bit of the vegetable matter in that. That's it. I'm just giving Santi a wee little tash. And we can also give him a set of eyebrows. So take a bit of the chopped fibre. A nice bushy set of eyebrows. You don't want to felt them in. You want them to look a little bit hairy. So now he's almost there. If that got a bit buried on me, lift that side of the tash. Now, eyes. I have white first, so some of the white that's left over. He has to have his eyeballs, so just take a piece of white, loosely roll it up, and place it in the eye socket that you made. Fun with these sometimes is getting them even. He does look better if both his eyes are the same size. You can work around them until you get them down to the size that you want. That's that one. And try and take roughly the same amount for the other eyeball. This in the socket. Again, just work around it. It's not too bad. Now, Santi's going to be a charming blue-eyed chap. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of blue fibre. Again, just give it a little gentle roll. You need a very small amount for this. And stab it into the center. Like so. And on the other side the same. Now what you can do is you can give that a trim. And just tidy it up. And if you're very careful, you can give them tiny, tiny black eye socket. And the easiest way to do that is just take one piece of fibre, shove it down and cut it off. So into the center of the and there we go. So now all that is left to do is put on Santi's hat. So the remainder of our white locks will do that. So this is his hat, put to shape, and I always start in the middle of the front of his head, and you're going to felt the hat to his head. It's like making a seam, and we overlap. So that's attached onto his head at that, but we want to make sure that he has a nice white floor on his hat. So take some of the fibres of his eyebrows and just work it in to hide that line. You don't want to felt the center of it, just the top and the bottom, so that it looks nice and fluffy. And then the last thing we need to do is decide where the curve on Santi's hat, or what way his hat is going to sit. So we have the line where it joins at the back. If we fold it in gently, we can lay it over so that you don't see where the join is. So I'm just going to take some white fibre and roll it into a wee ball shape. Lay the top of my hat down in it. Tighten it up. And then we can just bring it over and we can felt his hat down in place with a little white bobble on the end of it. So that's Santi. All he needs now is a nice pair of glasses and he's good to go. You can tweak him a little bit. I have some soft copper wire. Just going to cut a bit of that. I was already playing with the end of it, so we'll straighten that back out. This is nice soft wire, so it's very easy to work with. I have a pencil. I'm going to wrap it around for an eye. Bring it over and do the same again. I have to try and remember which way I wrapped it so that the legs are both coming out on the back. that's what the glasses look like. Then bring the legs back, trim both the legs. And then we have to fit them. So this seems like the cruel part. It's just at the side of the eye. Take your needle, put your needle in where the glasses are going to be, and continuously work up and down till you make a visible small hole. Again, turn them over, do the same on the opposite side. You can glue them in, but generally they don't fall out. Take your glasses. Okay, one side has gone in. Both. Gently push them into place. Even them up on his face. You can bend them or manipulate them whatever way you want. The wire is nice and soft. And there we go. We have our Christmas Santa ready to hang. So just a bit of string if you want to hang him on your Christmas tree. Get tidy. Send him back to the barbers. Give him a tidy up. And that's him. Good to go. So a little bit of string. I'm after pulling that out. A little bit of string on the to the hat, and he's ready to hang on the Christmas tree. And there we go. That's our Santa Claus. So thank you for joining us for our video. Do check out the rest of our videos on our YouTube channel. Be sure to follow us and catch up on the new videos that we bring out, which are uploaded regularly.